Paul, really good to chat with you. I've known you for a long time now. You're involved with Youth for Christ. Tell us exactly what you do.
Youth for Christ is exactly what it says on the tin. We work with young people and tell them about Jesus. We were started back in the 40s, been around in Cheltenham and Gloucestershire since the 70s, and we'll go into schools, we'll go do youth clubs, do all sorts of things where we have an opportunity to share the gospel with young people and show that there's a real hope. And our desire is just to see that young people are changed by Jesus.
Which schools?
So, well, schools have traditionally been our real focus, and we've always posed the questions: what would happen if we had to stop going into schools, which we had to do. But the schools we normally work in are All Saints, Pittville, Bourneside. Those are the Cheltenham schools. There's other schools outside of Cheltenham as well, in Gloucester and Tewkesbury. But also we're increasingly doing other stuff like our new project, one of our new projects, which is working with young people who are unemployed.
So you've been around, and we've asked you to come in and help us out with our youth group. Chris and Katie have given it back to us. And what are your thoughts on how you might come in and what you might do?
Do you know, I've done youth work for I've been doing it as a paid role for about the last 25 years, and before that I did a number of years as a volunteer. And youth work is just brilliant, and actually slightly biased, but it's the best ministry in the church. It's one of those opportunities where you get to see young people's lives change and blossom, and actually that's fundamentally what we want to do over the next term or so, as we get to know the young people, many of whom we know already, just to be able to just give them a spark and an enjoyment of faith, and which I'm sure, and I know full well that that they've had some excellent people involved in youth work over the years, giving them some real encouragement, doing some amazing stuff, and we want to just be able to build on that. So we're not coming in as these experts who can suddenly change it and turn it all around. It doesn't need turning around, but it just needs young people to be able to see that Jesus is real, is relevant, and can be really exciting.
Yeah, when you say exciting, how do you make it exciting?
I don't think I need to make Jesus exciting. I think that's the thing. The gospel is incredible, and it's exciting and dynamic. And if you look at the stories of what Jesus did, the things he said, actually it's about a radical life that's completely different. It's not simply following what the crowd do. And actually for young people who have got a social conscience, which most young people do nowadays, actually the messages of Jesus are really relevant. They're actually looking after our world, being good stewards, caring for the poor and for the disenfranchised. We have a gospel which is radical and speaks into our world that can be really exciting. And if you want to rebel as a young person, it's a really great way to rebel. It's to follow Jesus with a real passion.
So you said it's one of the most enjoyable ministries. Now, I think for many people, it's one of the most daunting as well. I mean, we've got the alphabet soup of Gen X, Gen Y, Gen Z, millennials, the whole lot. And you said to me, though, you know, we can come in, we can take some sessions, but the parish have got to provide. What have we got to provide?
I think the beauty of the parish is it sits in a context which is really diverse, and there's a real passion to see that everyone, including young people, just come to realize that Jesus can make a difference. And actually the youth work's an extension of that. And the reason I say you can get lost in all the different generations and all the different research out there, and honestly some of it's rubbish and some of it's great, but because fundamentally young people are just slightly smaller than adults. And actually sometimes it's really easy to look at young people and go, I couldn't do youth work because it's really scary, or I'm too old, or I haven't got the right personality. But young people are just people. And if you the simple way of knowing whether you can do youth work is, do you have the ability to talk to other people? And if you have the ability to talk to other people, you have the ability to talk to young people and do youth work. And young people simply want someone who says, I'm going to give you some time. I'm interested in your life. Let's get together and find out about stuff. And that's all that youth work is. There's no great complicated, you haven't got to be cool. If so, I wouldn't have been doing a job for the last 25 years. You haven't got to wear certain things. Young people want authentic adults who are willing to invest in their life. And that's all you need to be, an authentic adult willing to talk to young people.
So you said to me that you're after some volunteers to go in with you, and that would be the message, I guess. Sort of, come on, come and join us, come and give it a go.
Definitely, because actually it's great that we love coming in and supporting churches in this way, but actually what's most important is that the whole church get behind young people and say, we want to show you that we care. It's not just a case of, oh, we can get Youth for Christ to show that we care, but actually that we care. And actually, if someone's uncertain about whether they can actually do youth work, I would say come and give it a go, and just spend an evening with us while we do it. And actually, it doesn't involve any commitment. It doesn't mean that once you've come along to one session, you're going to have to be there for the next 27 years. But it's a way of just going, actually, it's something you could explore. And all of the things that often concern people, actually, I almost guarantee we can reassure them and show them that it's possible to get involved in youth work and make a real difference, which is the best way of making young people integral to the life of the church.
So I guess if anyone's watching this and thought, I've never really thought of it, give it a go. Yep, put your hand up.
Yep. That's all I've done for the last 25, 30 years. Give it a go.
You're passionate about your faith, and that comes through. Tell us about what keeps it alive for you. How does it work out in your life?
I think one of the things I'm quite stubborn in a healthy way. So I'm quite determined and quite passionate and quite focused about things. I'm really not very good at sitting down doing morning devotionals. Honestly, there's so many things in my head whizzing around that I find that sort of thing really hard. But actually, for me, an active faith is really important, and that involves prayer, that involves Bible study, and it involves all the other stuff. But I suppose I grew up being told that you sit down and have a quiet time, and I've never really done quiet times of any kind. Whereas for me, I like to be active, and actually my faith needs to make a difference. So my best prayer times and my best time of being still with God is when I'm cycling, which isn't very still, I know, but actually it's probably the one place I can get where God goes, you can't escape at the moment because you've got no one to talk to. But actually for me, that faith needs to be vibrant. Jesus promised life to the full, which involves everything. It involves joy, it involves pain, everything in between. And actually for me, life needs to be bright and colourful, because that's what Jesus brings into it.
Paul, every time I meet you, you bring some brightness and colour, and it's a joy to catch up with you again. So thank you so much for sharing with us, and we look forward perhaps to hearing more from you.
Definitely.
Go forward. Bless you.
Fantastic. Thank you, Rod.